What's up, guys? It's me. Happy you tuned in. Really basic video. First one on this channel. Really basic video. This was a coaching session with one of my students. He's been playing very well this game, but as I said, I was coaching him live. So it's really about him applying these concepts, which are very fundamental and will help anyone to reach masters easily. There's a lot of useful information in this video, so bear with me, and I recommend you to think about the plays and to maybe rewatch the video again if something didn't click with you, or write me a comment down. So the first one in the jungle, which you have to think about, which is very crucial, is that I actually got a document over here. So the first one is the only predetermined thing is your first buff, where you start in the jungle, right? So in this game it's either blue buff or it's red buff, as always. Invading is a different topic, but especially in these lower elos, all the way till masters, this is all you need to know as of right now, especially on champs like Lilia. So how do you know on which buff you start? The first one being is according to the jungle matchup, right? And the second one is lane matchups, so these people right here. So talking about lane matchups, in this game we have a double TP top lane with a Malphite and a Renekton, right? And then we have a very volatile bot lane, right? We have a hook champ, we have double ignite. It's a Ashe against Raven, so a lot of trading is going on right in this lane. So just thinking about that, we really want to go bot lane, right? Especially since top lane is not very snowbally compared to bot lane, right? So this is the first thing. Second thing is you have to think about, especially in the mid lane, oftentimes it's about who got the push. Most of the time it's the ranged champ. So in this case, it's the Lissandra, obviously, which is very crucial because the only thing you have to think about if you start blue buff against a jungler who might start red buff, which basically anyone can, is that you have to worry about being invaded on your red buff, right? Because Belvev could just go here, one camp, two camp, three camp, and invade you over here. But since in this game we have the push advantage mid lane, which is not always, safe to say, but it's just an educated guess we have to make in the jungle, right? So in this case, we don't have to be worried about Belveth invading us since we got the push advantage. And if she does, she's just fucked, right? Because Lissandra can easily move, and there's really nothing Belveth can do. So with that being said, we wanna start on our blue buff in this game. Let me fast forward this. Okay, starting blue buff. All right. So let's see. We are not going to focus too much on clear efficiency. That's another topic. I just want to get the most crucial fundamentals down. So we are clearing as always, and this is very good. Um, we have to always look at our side lanes. In this case, especially bot lane, since they're trading very heavy. Since in the jungle, you are always clearing camps according to the map. So in this case, there is no way that we are full clearing, right? We just want to get our level 3 as fast as possible, and in this case go bot lane. Why is that? So the three most important things for a gank to work out are summoner spells, the push, so wave state, and HP. In this case, we can see that bot lane, the enemy bot lane, is pushed up. I actually tell him to ping on the way bot lane. They're pushed up, they are low HP, and most importantly, the most dead giveaway is our summoner spells, especially Flash. So in this case, this is really a free gank. Why? Because your Lilia, you're level 3, there is a Draven who's pushed up, no Flash, and low HP. So the last thing you want to do is full clear. You just want to go there as soon as possible. Especially since the enemy jungler is in no position to counter gank this since Belveth started on blue buff, right? We actually didn't go over this, but if you look at this right here, this is also another thing you have to do in the jungle is, besides, as soon as you're doing your first buff, you want to check side lanes. And in this case, we can see that the Malphite is starting in lane right away, and the enemy bot lane is getting out of river. So there's really no world where Belvev can counter gank this, since in this position right here, we did 3 camps, she did 3 camps, so we are now walking like this, and she's walking like this, right? So this is a free gank. This is really important. So let's fast forward this. We're not going to focus too much on mechanics, since mechanics are really not that important. They just help you to snowball quicker, right? So this is actually very unfortunate what's happening here. A lot of mechanical misplays. But as I said, we're going to focus on fundamentals, right? So just clear this wave out, whatever, get the XP. And the next thing is, now in this position, we're just, doing our camps because there's really nothing else to do, right? No reason to go back. We got our bot side camps up. And as I said, you have to ping the enemy jungler. In this position, the Belvev, if she's actually topside, which according to where she started, she must be, you have to ping topside right here. I actually told him this, and he's actually doing this, which is very good, because this is the only way you can counter a cross map play as a jungler. You being botted right here, it's nonsense to go red like this if you can just ping the reenactment off, right? If he dies, it's whatever. It happens in League. But you have to do your best to prevent this. And in this case, the only thing you can do is ping topside. So now this is really funny because Belvev is actually bot side, as we can see, since she's not on Scuttlecrab, and she actually did this, right? Um, this might happen 5% of the time, especially if it's it's really weird because she most likely started Raptors solo, and botlane just was chilling in river level 1. But like there's really nothing we can do about this, since the only thing we can we can only make an educated guess where she starts according to laners, right? But now knowing that she did Scuttle, the only thing for you to do here is jungle is just base, since your first neutral camp, so your Gromp is going to respawn at 420, right? I'm going to do a separate video on respawn timers, and they're actually really important, but just the most important one is 420. And if there's nothing on the map, you really want to sync your recall timer with this. So here you really want to base as a jungler, especially since you got a lot of gold, right? And counter-ganging this is really nonsense, since there's no way you're getting there in time, right? So again, like with the top lane, pinging top side, that she might gank this, because you're not in position to counter-gank, is to just ping your bot lane off right here. Which is really important. Don't underestimate pings. So let's see. So just clear camps, this is all basic. Belvev actually chose to to dive bot lane. You could actually think about this and maybe even counter the dive. But I actually told him beforehand that there's no way that bot lane is ever going to die to this, right? Since Draven, had no sums, they had a lot of gold to spend, and there's really no way they're ever dying to this. So it's really nonsense to protect the dive, which is not going to work out anyways, right? In some games it might, because your laners are inting, but we want to make the perfect play. So in this scenario right here, when we see Belvev bot side, and we know that she started she started on her blue buff. In this game actually she started top side. The first camp, as we said, is spawns at 420, right? So for us it was the Gromp. So either way, if you did Crux into Raptors or Raptors into Crux, one of these camps has to be respawned, and it's 5 minutes, right? Second camp spawns 20 seconds apart. So 420 is the first camp, so let's say the Crux. 440 is the second camp, so it's the Raptors. So either way it's 5 minutes, so both of them have to be respawned, right? Since she actually started over here, which we didn't know at first. So the counterplay here is to just go invade this. And the thing about invading is it's so crucial, especially in lower elo, since you can do it a lot more times compared to higher elo, is that by invading you actually get double the CS. So let's say you do your Gromp, it's a CS count of 4, right? If you invade, it's actually like CS count of 8. Why? Because not only you're getting the camp and you get the experience and gold, you also deny the enemy jungle this camp. So in reality, it's actually double the amount, right? And by doing two camps, you actually don't get a CS count of 8, it's actually a CS count of 16, right? So that's why invading is so powerful. And you really want to protect it. You don't want to get invaded if you can prevent it, and you want to do it as many times as possible if the opportunity arises. So I told him to just go do this. And in this case, actually, I told him to not back away because he's actually walking away. But since we're so much stronger than Belveth in this scenario, we're level 5 Lilia, we spend our gold, and most importantly, the Malphite is low HP, right? So I told him to just stay here. If the Belveth comes, fine, just fight her. Your Renekton is also in a position to help you, right? Because he's just so much stronger. And he's level 6, right? So just stay here and dive this dude. And don't let him back. So this is all fine. Again, mechanically not the best play right here. I think he misses his W, but it's fine. You know, we're not all mechanically perfect. Get the blade. And this is really important right here. Why you want to base right here? You want to base because the only thing really for you on the map is Gromp. And walking all the way to Gromp for a couple for the experience and gold is really not worth it. If you can just go bot lane, do this, do your Raptors which are about to respawn and just path like this again, right? And you got like 1100 gold. So there's no reason to stay on the map any longer if you can just spend your gold and be on the map and clean your camps efficiently. Especially since Raptors are about to respawn soon. So this is really important right here. Because as we know, Belveth didn't show topside. Even though we were like spending a lot of time over here. So the only logical thing for Belveth right here is to be bot side, right? Especially since she most likely knew that we invaded this, right? So I actually told him instead of pathing to Crux and Raptors, to just ping his Raptors and walk there straight away. Because the only counterplay for Belveth right here is to just go like this, right? So I told him to check this. If she was here, fight her and ping your mid laner. If she's not, fine, just do this. And we actually see Belveth is actually over here, which is the only logical play for her, right? And this puts us in a perfect position to just counter gank this, which actually, I mean, at this point it's just a jungle div, right? Mechanically not perfect, but as I said, mechanics are really not that important in the jungle, as long as you're applying the fundamentals. And now it's about 7 minutes, and what you want to do here is the most important timer, honestly, in the jungle is 8 minutes, right? At 8 minutes, Rift Herald will spawn. Now in this position, you could recall and say, wait, why are we not recalling? We got so much gold, let's just spend this and go here straight away. But the thing you have to understand is, in this scenario, you really want to get these camps off the map, so your Crocs and your Raptors. Since the only way for Belveth to counterplay a Herald play is to invade this and maybe dive your bot lane, right? That's the only thing she can really do, since she cannot really contest you over here. And another thing, you want to sync your recall timer with Rift Herald. So in a perfect world, you want to recall at around 740-ish. You need around 20 seconds over here. So there's no way Belveth can steal this, right? If you sync your recall timer perfectly. So you got more than enough time to do these camps over here. Get as much gold as possible and experience. And come out of base as strong as possible while not letting Belveth just take your top side or Rift Herald. So this is really important right here. And I told him to do this, he did it. As you can see, when he finishes these Crocs, it's... I actually can see the timer. Let me fix this. Yeah, it's 7:30-ish. So when he's recalling, he's in a perfect position for Rift Herald. And he's got 1500 gold. And if he just goes right here, he can do a couple of things, Of course, in jungle, it depends on the map state. So if he comes out of base and top lane is very volatile, he can just go straight for a gank, especially since he's so strong. He can just do one camp, check the map, maybe then go for a gank. He can just do two camps into Rift. There's a lot of stuff he can do right here, right? And that's what jungling is. You have to adapt to the map. But the most important thing right here is to sync your recall timer with Rift Herald. So right here you want to base and spend your gold. And that's how he got 3 kills in Diamond Elo easily, by just applying fundamentals. I mean, his mechanics were not anything out of this world in this game, right? So it's really about fundamentals.